Welcome back to Automotives Review, the channel where we explore the finest innovations, the boldest machines, and the future of automotive engineering. Today, we're diving into something that doesn't just redefine driving, it redefines the very way we think about mobility itself. This is the story of the world's first solar car, a revolutionary machine that harnesses the power of the sun, turns it into motion, and promises to take us into a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable future. For over a century, cars have run on fossil fuels, shaping our world, our cities, and our way of life. But as the effects of climate change grow harder to ignore, and as the automotive industry rapidly pivots toward electrification, a question has remained: what if our cars didn't just consume energy, what if they created it? What if your vehicle could charge itself while you're parked at the office, while you're enjoying the weekend at the beach, or even while you're driving down the highway? That is exactly the vision behind the world's first solar-powered car. This car isn't just an experimental prototype locked away in a laboratory. It's a real, functioning vehicle built to prove that the dream of energy independence on four wheels can become reality. And the best part, it's not just about being eco-friendly. It's about freedom. Freedom from the charging cable. Freedom from the gas pump. Freedom from the constant hunt for the next power source. The engineers behind this car had one goal: to create something futuristic yet practical, powerful yet efficient, and above all, capable of surviving the demands of real-world driving. To achieve that, they covered the entire surface of the vehicle with ultra-thin, highly efficient solar panels. These panels are so sensitive that even under cloudy conditions or in partial shade, they're able to capture enough sunlight to keep the battery alive. On a bright day, the car can generate enough electricity to add dozens of kilometers to its range, without ever being plugged in. Imagine leaving your car outside in the morning sun, and by evening, it's gained 3 kilometers, ready for your next journey. That's the promise of solar mobility. But let's step inside for a moment. Because this car isn't just an engineering marvel on the outside, it's a masterpiece of design on the inside. The interior blends minimalism with cutting-edge technology. A large central screen connects you to every function of the vehicle, from solar energy monitoring to navigation and entertainment. And unlike most electric cars that make you worry about where the nearest charger is, this one constantly reassures you that it's charging itself as you drive. Now, range anxiety has always been the biggest concern with electric vehicles. But here, solar integration changes the game. On average, depending on your climate, this car can harvest anywhere from 20 to 70 kilometers of solar range per day. For city drivers with shorter commutes, that might actually be enough to drive indefinitely without plugging in. Think about that: weeks, even months, of driving without ever connecting to a charging station. It's a vision that turns the EV experience from dependence to independence. Performance hasn't been compromised either. The car features a sleek, aerodynamic design that doesn't just look futuristic, it reduces drag to maximize efficiency. Every curve, every panel has been optimized to glide through the air with minimal resistance, ensuring that every watt of energy captured from the sun goes as far as possible on the road. Acceleration is brisk, the handling is tight, and thanks to the low center of gravity offered by the battery placement, the car feels planted and confident even at higher speeds. But this car isn't only about the present, it's about the future. Because while the technology is groundbreaking today, what excites people most is what it means for tomorrow. Imagine highways filled with vehicles that don't just consume power but create it. Imagine parking lots where thousands of solar cars sit during the day, quietly feeding energy back into the grid. Imagine a world where transportation is not a drain on our planet's resources but a contributor to clean energy. That's the kind of future solar cars hint at, and this world's first creation is the first step toward it. Of course, no revolution is without its challenges. Solar energy, while abundant, is variable. Weather conditions, geographic location, and even how you park your car all influence how much energy it can capture. In places with limited sunlight, the benefits won't be as dramatic as in sun-rich regions. And yet, even with these limitations, the idea of supplementing traditional charging with free, renewable energy is powerful enough to change the game. It doesn't have to replace the grid entirely, it just has to reduce our dependence on it. What's remarkable is how the designers balanced idealism with realism. This car doesn't rely solely on solar panels, it still has a charging port, and it can still be plugged into conventional chargers for long trips. But the fact that you might not need to charge it for days or weeks, depending on your lifestyle, is what makes it extraordinary. It's not about replacing one system with another. It's about creating harmony between technology and nature. And that brings us to the big question: is this just a concept, or is it something we'll actually see on the road in the near future? The answer is both inspiring and encouraging. While early models are limited in production, the concept has already proven itself. Automakers around the globe are watching closely, many of them exploring their own solar integration technologies. This first solar car may not yet be mass-market affordable, but it represents the blueprint of what's coming. Just as electric cars were once niche, expensive, and experimental, solar cars are now standing at the same starting line, ready to evolve into mainstream reality. Driving this car feels different, not just because of the technology, but because of the message it sends. You're not just driving a machine. You're driving an idea that the power of the sun, which has fueled life on Earth for billions of years, can now directly fuel our mobility. It's poetic, it's logical, and it feels inevitable. Think about the ripple effects. Reduced demand on power grids, cleaner air in cities, longer-lasting batteries thanks to more consistent charging, lower ownership costs because sunlight, after all, is free. And perhaps most importantly, the sense of freedom and independence that comes with knowing your car isn't tethered to a wall socket. It's alive, it's self-sustaining, and it's always charging, just like the solar-powered calculators we grew up with, but on a grand, automotive scale. And while we celebrate the brilliance of this invention, let's also remember the bigger picture. Innovation in the automotive industry has always been about solving the problems of its time. When roads were poor, cars were made stronger. When distances grew longer, engines grew more powerful. When safety became an issue, airbags and crumple zones were born. And now, in the face of climate change, pollution, and the need for sustainable energy, the answer is emerging in the form of vehicles that not only consume less but give back more. The solar car is not just another chapter in automotive history, it's the beginning of a new era. Here at As Automotives Review, we always look at vehicles not just as machines, but as symbols of where humanity is heading. And this solar car, the world's first of its kind, represents more than just engineering excellence. It represents hope for cleaner cities, for smarter technologies, for a planet where progress doesn't come at the cost of nature. So, the next time you look at the sun, think of it not just as a source of light and warmth, but as the silent, limitless power station in the sky. And remember that one day soon, it might not only grow our crops, light our homes, and power our devices, but also fuel our journeys, mile after mile, in vehicles that never stop charging. The world's first solar car is here, and it's not just a machine. It's a promise of a future where innovation and sustainability ride together on the open road. And that, my friends, is a revolution worth watching. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the dawn of solar mobility. If you enjoyed this review and want to stay updated with the latest innovations in the world of cars, don't forget to subscribe to As Automotives Review, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow automotive enthusiasts. Together, let's keep exploring the machines that are shaping our future. Because here, the journey never ends, it only evolves.